What is up, loves? Welcome back once again to another GTA Online summer DLC video. My name is Darkside. And listen, guys, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I predicted a lot of this shit, and I'm going to get into all of it as much as I can. So basically, when you spawn in, you're going to get a call from Martin Madrazo. You're going to have to go down to LSI and meet him, and he's going to introduce you to a man named Mr. Faber and his assistant. And basically, Mr. Faber is really good at washing money. All right, he's a money launderer, basically. And so these new 3 businesses are just going to be fronts for money laundering. Try and explain it the best I can, because there's a few different other things you can do with these businesses, not just have it as a passive income as well. So, okay, let's get started. You go on to Maze Bank Foreclosures, pick out the car wash, and yeah, it's the only one in the game, obviously. I mean, we have 2 of them in the game, but this is the only one that you're able to purchase. So purchase that, and then go ahead and head over to Strawberry. Okay, so these businesses work a couple different ways. And didn't I tell you guys, there was going to be like a suspicion meter or something in here? I fucking knew it, dude. The suspicion meter is basically that heat meter. And so, okay, the way it works is when that heat meter goes up, you have to do one of the top missions on top. For the car wash, you have to go to a location, to an NPC's house, and get the keys out of the box, start the car, drive it back to the car wash it, clean it, and then bring it back to their house. Okay, and then after that, your heat meter will go down, right? And this is the crazy part. If you wind up damaging the car on the way to the car wash or on the way back, you can always, there's a mechanic built into the car wash. So as far as stealing the vehicles, it's pretty easy. There's no NPCs. I would do this in an invite-only lobby, guys, because I don't know if people can blow you up or attack you. I don't know if it puts you in some type of a passive mode. Grab the key out of the box, press right on the D-pad, beep, beep, open up the car, get inside, and bring it to the car wash. So for the car wash business, this is the legit business part of it. Okay, this is what's going to bring your heat meter down, is washing cars for people, basically. Okay, each business in the game has something different. So, but for the car wash, this is what you have to do in order to bring the suspicion and the heat off, get the heat off of you. So, yeah, you have to go through this cutscene. It's kind of annoying. But anyway, once we go, we're done. And I did actually wind up hitting something. And it's pretty funny. You get kind of a weird cutscene when you bring the people their car back, like, not destroyed, but kind of messed up. The guy's like, what the fuck, man? What happened? Like, look at him. And then you're like, sorry, dude. You know what I mean? But anyway, it is what it is. It's pretty funny. I think they do the same thing in the auto shop. But yeah, so that's how you get the heat down for the car wash. So moving on to the next business is going to be the Higgins Helitours. So this one has some really cool features. So just like the Mackenzie Airfield, you can walk over to this blue Corona and pretty much leave via any helicopter in the game that you own. CEO helicopters, I believe, Pegasus, personal helicopters, only helicopters though. But yeah, you can either do where you leave up in the air and you're already up and gone, or you can do it while you're on the helipad, and it says runway, but here, for this instance, it's a helipad. And basically, I called it with this business, guys. So for this business, just like how you go and you wash the cars, this one you're going to be doing helitours. So basically what I did was I came over here, started it up out of the computer, and if the heat gets too high, you have to actually do helitours. I told you guys we're probably going to have to do this. Unfortunately, we don't make any money off it. We make like $5,000 or something, but you don't get tipped or nothing like that. It's not like taxi work like I thought it was, but I knew we were going to have to do this eventually. And then you basically take them to 5 different locations around the map, zoom in on them and let them take some pictures, and then go back to the drop-off and drop them off again.
It's just like I imagined it.
And then once you've done all 5 locations, you will have to go return them to where you picked them up at the helipad on top of the building. It could be a random location. It's always not in the same place. I've done this a couple times already. And this is how you keep the heat off of you for the Higgins Helator business. Okay, so moving on to the last business, the smoke on the water. So as you can see here, my heat is already like 1.5 bars or 1 bars or whatever. I can't really see it too well. But this is how you keep the heat off of you and keep the heat bar down for this business. So basically what you're going to be doing, you have to grab the van. And it's kind of crazy because they pulled the post-op trucks out, which I'm very happy about. But this is a very similar type of mission. Okay, a little bit of a twist. Okay, because what you have to do is jump in the van, and once you jump into the van, you're gonna see all the locations you have to go to. It's 5 different stops. You're gonna earn a total of, I think, $2,500 as long as you drop the right type of weed off at the right location. So you're gonna open up the phone, and he's gonna send you a text. All right, and you have to match what area you're in to the type of weed you're going to be dropping off at whatever house. And that's how you get the better tip. So you're going to make $2,500 on this. It pays $500 a stop. It is pretty fun, and it's a hell of a lot easier than doing the post-op trucks. So one thing that I did try and do the first time I did this, once you get into the van, it'll reveal all of the locations that you have to go drop all the different types of weed off to. You can take a picture with your phone and save it and call a cargo bob in or the Iron Mule. I did it that way, and it worked out perfect. I dropped the truck, got out, did it, bam, bam, bam. I had it done in probably like 5 minutes. It would probably be even quicker if you had an organization member in here with you and you just cargo bob them from location to location to location. Another thing I don't know is if you get more money doing it in a public lobby. You might not. If you guys want to try it, let me know how it works out. But yes, the Cargo Bob and the Iron Mule do work for this. So something else I wanted to share with you guys that I think is going to be really helpful too. So you can't do it from in any of these businesses. It won't work. So you have to be outside of the car wash, the smoke on the water, or the Higgins Helators. But you can call this guy Raph, the assistant that's working with us. You can call him directly and check on the heat percentage per each one of your businesses. I think it's kind of a cool feature. So rather than having to keep going back and looking at them, you could just call him and see here. It tells you right there whatever the percentage is. So say, for example, if my car wash was getting suspicious and the heat was up to 60, 70%, you can also call him and go and pick up a car to go clean and bring it back to the car wash and take care of that real quick, then drop it back off at the person's house, and then your heat will go down. Okay? So same thing with all the other 2 businesses. You'll start like a Helator's or a weed, dispensary mission. So I think it's pretty cool. Moving on to the actual money laundering missions. You could start these up in the computer, and what's his name, Raph, he's going to call you and tell you where to go. Now, the only thing I'm confused on this is I did 2 of them earlier. Both of them were out of my car wash, and I came back like an hour later, and I wound up having a big bag of money sitting on my dresser in my personal quarters. Now, I don't know if you start one up from Higgins Helator's or from the smoke shop or whatever, the weed shop, if it all counts in one particular business. You know what I mean? Like if it all coincides and you're left with one bag in one bit, or do you have to go back to each and every business and grab all the laundered money from each individual business? It would be easier if they just put it all together. I mean, the guy Raph is working he's doing all the laundering for you, so I can't see why you would need to do it. Each business, I understand they're separate entities, but you're still getting laundered money, and it should just be put in one business, and you just go in there and grab it whenever you can. But I don't know. I don't know if it all coincides like that, or if it's each individual separate entity. I'm gonna have to look into that. If any of you guys can answer that for me too, let me know. All right, I gotta go, guys. After I got done with this, I dropped it off back at the car wash, and I'm just a little curious on that. We'll have to look into it, but I'll cover I'm gonna cover the contact missions tomorrow night, and we'll get a little bit farther in depth in those. There's a lot to those, and some interesting things I've never seen before. All right, guys, I got to go. Have a good night. I will talk to you soon.